The first time I walked into this house, I was just completely in awe. The center parlor doors opened and it had me. And I looked at the agent and I said, just tell me what I need to do to get this project. My name is Jason Saft. I'm the founder and chief magic maker, because when you are the founder of a company, you can give yourself your own title, of Stage to Sell Home. We are in Clinton Hill, Brooklyn. We are on sort of the Mansion Row. It's one of the best blocks, Washington Avenue. And we are in, I think, without question, the most spectacular house on the block. It was built in 1887 for Charles Erhart, one of the co-founders of the Pfizer company. The house is over 10,000 square feet. It is 100 feet deep, which is just almost unheard of. 5 stories, 7 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, 8 fireplaces, and we did this in 2 days. This is sort of like my pride and joy with Stage to Sell Home is, staging is typically very prescriptive. It's everything should be white, devoid of personality, and I believe it to be the exact opposite. I've been a contrarian my whole life. I don't think homes should be white and dull and uninteresting. Like, we get into every little detail, the placement of every object. I'm collecting things everywhere I go, and it's anything from thrift stores, flea markets, vacations. Like, I will come back with a suitcase full of antique European books just so I have something special that no one else has. And it's the details and the craftsmanship and the artistry is what people really fall in love with. And it's why we get asked to do these beautiful, like, just historic, like, one-of-a-kind homes. So the overall design philosophy was taking this idea of the Queen Anne, modernize it, making it contemporary. But for me, the most important thing in a historical home is making it livable. I want to make it accessible. I want people to imagine their kids running around dinner parties with 20 people, just enjoying the house, not feeling as if they live in a museum and can't touch anything and have to be sort of limited in that way. I think something I've learned over the years is often when someone approaches a historical house, they're often intimidated by it and they feel as if maybe they can't live in it, it's too precious. And that's something I love doing by bringing contemporary pieces, but also lots of antiques, to make a space that one might sort of feel like it's off limits, right? Like there's like stanchion rope saying don't touch anything, like touch it, enjoy it, live in the space, like really, enjoy the history of it, but give it a new history. The front parlor, it's just the most majestic room in the house. The first thing you see as you enter is this stunning mirror, and because there's a pier mirror opposite in the entryway, you get this incredible infinity mirror effect, and then you have a gorgeous chandelier in the center. And so it's so grand, and it just gets like ingrained in you. And so I wanted to really build on that. I didn't want to distract too much from it. And because the elements are so specific to a time period, I wanted to play with a little bit of modernism. And so the coffee table, again, like on paper, it may not make sense, but when you bring it into the room, it's big, it's hulking, it's sculptural. It actually, like the shape and pattern of it go directly into the molding, and I feel like this great connectivity. One of my favorite things that just happened was I just bought a bunch of new rugs, and so it's the new Nate Berkus collection for Rugs USA, and the pattern within the rug that is here is almost like a modern, sort of streamlined interpretation of the intricate parquet. And when I came in and saw the parquet and I was looking through the inventory, I was like, oh, this is such the perfect place for this rug. Like, you couldn't ask for a better sort of connective tissue. I've already picked out the art, but I'll typically hang it at the end, and I love installing it and playing with it. And that's where, really sort of take a little bit of a risk here and there with time periods, and I'm always making sure, like, do we have some photography and abstract pieces that are maybe a little bit more traditional? I always want to bring something special in, so I brought one of my favorite oil paintings. I always joke it's my fake grandmother, Gertrude. She's not, but if I ever had that sort of like patrician grandmother, that would be her. I've been dragged on this in the comment section of many things. There's a group of people who believe like when you live in a historic house, like everything has to be historical. Everything should be from that time period. And they're so bent out of shape by seeing, you know, modern art, modern accessories in something from this era. And it's like, look, like you're making these comments on a cell phone or a computer, right? Like we have all moved on and moved forward, and we can all appreciate like beautiful historical things while living in the present, preserving parts of the past, but like just bridging them all together to make ourselves happy. So if you want to come for me in the comment section, if you're one of those historical house people, then go for it. As we move from the front parlor, we've got one of the center parlors. And what I love and what I think is such a great detail is, you know, the front parlor, it's bright and white, it looks out onto the street, and then you enter into this room where it's like wood paneling, it gets a little cozier, lights a little bit darker, and it's just warm. And you can feel the difference, especially because this is the floor where everyone congregates, even down to the choices. Like I picked this like really rich, dark chocolate, velvety sofa that when someone sits down, like I want them to sort of just like run their hands along the sofa and just like feel that texture and that warmth, because to me, that's like the wood tones of the room, that mahogany, like it feels rich. And so we'll translate that big, oversized, you know, Benny rug to something warm and soft under the feet. Continuing to play with the architectural elements. So within this room, there's this great iron detail in the leaded glass window and the shape and pattern. And so like, as I'm going through the inventory and thinking, I have these vintage stifle lamps or from like the late 60s, early 70s. And they're the kind of thing that people have said before, like, oh, they're dated, that reminds me of my grandparents' house, but I think they're beautiful, and they have the original lampshades. And the lampshades really sort of like almost like, they mimic a bit the pattern within the leaded glass window, and then the oxblood wood sculpture above the sofa, like the way that it's cut, those lines also are another sort of interpretation of the leaded glass windows and the pattern within it. I love playing with the existing architecture and then going through our inventory to figure out like what looks and feels like as if it was just made for this space, as if it was done over this long period of time. And again, the reality is like we're planning this only maybe a few days or a week or two out, and then installing it within 2 days. So I love being here and seeing it finished and fully done, and just that cohesion of all the elements. The stained glass window was really the jumping point. Like it dictated everything in the best possible way. And I think, you know, for people who are trying to figure out how to do things with your home, like you really want to look around and think about what is existing and then how to build off of that. It's an easy cheat to create a sense of harmony. What's funny about this, again, it goes back to there's the leaded glass windows and the pattern and the shape. And so it was really funny. Like, again, I'm thinking of the inventory, and I'd recently made a mistake. I was helping a friend with their apartment. We picked out a rug. We ordered the wrong size. I make mistakes. So I bought the rug, and the rug, the color palette within it is like the most perfect match for the leaded glass in here. The rug's too small, and so just layered a much larger rug, then put the smaller rug, gave it a little foundation. And when we got here, the sellers had left behind their dining table, and we had something brought in. And when you look overhead at their dining table, it's got this great intricate pattern that also sort of like goes directly into the leaded glass between like the color and the shape. So we sent back the one we brought, and we used that for it. And then again, it was just like these, how do we tie together the color palette, the elements, basically floor to ceiling, to bring it all together and just make like a vast dining room that people would just imagine having like a beautiful meal and party and a great time in. The dining room chairs are one of my favorites. They're Athena Calderon's first collection for Crate and Barrel. They're rodent, but I'm really into things that are textured, that you could sit down, that you could feel, that gives a sense of warmth. And so they've got the great nubby sheepskin and just like a really cozy, like you want to be at a dinner party at this table. So the kitchen is, to me, the kitchen is so fun because it's so different from everything else on this floor. It's like you're sort of like traveling through time and you just get such a different feeling. And then you enter into this like big, expansive kitchen. And my favorite part, what I kept going to is the back windows. They're rounded, they're leaded glass, like they're really special. And I wanted to keep everything very low profile. I didn't want to distract from that view. To me, I think that idea of like your kids are sitting at the counter, they're doing their homework, you're cooking, there's a great space for a more casual table if you don't want to go into the dining room. And so I didn't want anything to overwhelm that view. I just wanted to play the sense of like, this is where people are gathering. And then I brought in the bar stools that I love and sort of played with the pattern, the black and white, and have a dining chair set, which now I'm worried they're a Laura Gonzalez dupe, so I'm gonna get dragged for that one. That we've got a couple pieces of dupe furniture in here, a hot button topic within the design community, but I love them. I think they're great and they're super affordable. For me, I'm such a sucker for shelves. I like the more shelves, the better. I enjoy sourcing all the accessories, and so there's the big cubby holes that I wanted to fill with objects, things that you would use, cookbooks that you would love, like just ceramics, all different things. And so, you know, what I always do is I'll measure each of the spaces and then I can sort of map it out basically in my head. I go to the warehouse, we pre-pack the boxes, we'll organize it so that they'll come directly to that spot in the kitchen, and then sort of lightning fast, like sort of like you get very much like the Matrix, like you're just sort of like plugging, playing. You step back, see what works, look at, is there continuity, does it like make sense visually, and then it's just done within a few minutes. The secret is, it's like, that's how you work out your crazy. Like for me, I have always just moved things around to decompress. I have always walked into a space and sort of tried to make it more functional, make it look more appealing. And that is how, when I'm thinking of something, when I am stressed out with something, that is what I do. And so it's just become second nature. You just sort of understand like there's patterns and shapes and there's things that you want to use and you can very quickly just form it. On the second floor, the first room that you walk into is the primary suite. The primary bedroom, it's just like, first off, it's like that little balcony, like your little Evita moment, like you just go up there and you just want to like sing. I mean, it's pretty spectacular the way that you overlook Washington Avenue, but it's east facing, it's bright, the stain of the wood is very soft, it's almost pink. You've got the eyebrow stained glass windows, and so it has sort of a feminine energy to it, and it's very soft and it's very expansive, and I love a bedroom that feels like a hotel suite, especially if you're a parent. Like you want that bedroom to be that private little spot where you can just like escape from your kid. Look, we all need to escape from our kids every once in a while. And so again, it was sort of like keeping the furniture soft, keeping it low profile. So I use one of my favorite beds, and sometimes like I get so into a piece of furniture, I'll buy like 8 or 10 of them. And so that bed, that's the Diana bed by Ross Cassidy. I have it in my own apartment. I have like 10 friends who have all bought it. It's just like the most perfect soft bed. We have a lot of repeat clients, and there are pieces that start in one project that become like a good luck charm or something that makes me think of them. And so Jessica Buckman, the agent for this project, I have a piece of art that a client had given me years ago, and the art reminds me of her. She physically, the woman in the painting looks just like Jessica. And so in one of our first projects, this painting had gone in, the house sold like immediately. I always save this piece for her. And so that was like the one big art moment that you see, and I wanted it. It's just like exuberant and joyful, but it's not overwhelming, and that's something like when we're designing the bedrooms, especially the primary, I don't want it to be overwhelming. I don't want too many things in it. I want people touring this house to come in and see like, oh, this is what like my suite should feel like. This is where I want to wake up. And that's always the feedback we get as people come through and they're like, oh, is this how you can live? Is this how you can lay out the space? It's not just that it's the primary suite, but it's the primary floor. And this floor has a feature I have, in over 20 years of working in real estate and design, have never seen before. It has a bathing room. Like, it's just a room with a bathtub and a fireplace. So when we arrived, the previous owners had done this hand-painted de Gournay wallpaper, and just a beautiful sort of floral bird motif, and it's got the green in it, it's very rich, and we didn't want to hang any art in that room. Like, the wallpaper is the art, and we just wanted to leave it there and just have everything sort of work with it. When I was designing the space, I brought in an old traditional desk that I had to be sort of like a little bit of a table where someone could put on their makeup. I wanted someone just feeling as if they'd actually like gotten out of the bathtub and were in this like little sanctuary of a room, because it is so special. It is sort of like, it's just wild to think like there's just a room to take a bath in. Like, why not? As you leave the bathing suite, there's one more room that rounds out the primary floor. And so it's sort of like a den, a study, office. And so since we went one way, very feminine in the bathing room, decided sort of like, if it was this couple that I'd had in my head, like the wife gets the bathing room and the walk-in closet, and the husband will get the back room as like that sort of home office study. And so I've had this incredible Swedish 3-seater sofa that I love so much, I've had for years. And I just thought it would be a fun piece to bring in there. And then this like hand-carved wooden stump as a coffee table. And there were like little hints of green within the fireplace. I've got these great Togo chairs, and then the accessories within the room, the books and little details, it's just like hints and pops of green, even going over to the desk area, like just to sort of like interconnect everything. But again, it's sort of like that trick of going back to what is existing in the room. So you've got the dark wood tones, which again, if you look at the wood coffee table, you look at the sofa, that all goes to there. And then you look over at the fireplace and you've got that like forest green tile that all of a sudden comes back within the chairs. It comes back within the border of the rug. Within the shelves, you've got it dotted throughout within books and objects and sculptures. And again, it's this great trick and really easy way to pull a room together. After you finish the primary floor, the kids get their own floor. And that, like the kids' rooms are always, you know, some of the other spaces are more serious. And the kids' rooms, we want to have fun. People always bring their kids to showings. And so we'll typically start with either a single color or a piece of art, and then we're building around that. And so all the kids' spaces are meant, like if kids are here, they can go upstairs, they can play with the toys, they can explore. Like, I want them there fighting over which room is mine while the parents are going through the rest of the house. What I love so much too about the kids' rooms and the spaces is like looking back at pieces. So one of the rooms is like a Batman themed room, and it started with this great piece of art at an auction probably 15 years ago. It's one of our original pieces of inventory. But as a kid, like, I love Batman, I collected comic books, and on the desk are my old comic books that I found in my childhood bedroom. And so again, we're always just like trying to weave those narratives together and finding that, and every little element sort of syncs to it. So the TV room is just fun. That's where like the family goes, or people come over for a big movie night. Like in our house, Friday night is pizza movie night. And I just want to bring that into a house this big. Like, I don't want it to feel all serious. It doesn't have to be so particular. Like, the TV room is like, you just imagine yourself with your kids playing games, hanging out, having fun like that. That is what a home should be. And like, we're very conscious when we're designing to make sure we show people, like, enjoy your home, enjoy your time with your family. If you're not creative enough to think of like, would I put up 2 play tents and fake fires, like, then we've figured that out for you. Andy Blank is a local Brooklyn company. I get a lot of my pieces from them, but does this great series of these vibrant dots, and to me, it just adds life into it. And I love that juxtaposition against the wood paneling, because it feels a bit like a serious room. And so through the use of color and more pop art, we just make it more fun and more accessible. So the house has like secret spaces, secret rooms. There's like, a bit of a weaving path that takes a little bit to find. And if you play your cards right and follow the trail, you end up in your own private little nightclub. I learned from different neighbors that the room has served different purposes. There were some pretty wild parties that some people went to. There were some parties that people did not go to. There was one time kids were using it for basketball practice. But we really, when we looked at it, I had just seen Cabaret on Broadway, and so the full credit of the design really goes to Sarah on my team. She pulled it together in this incredible, she got the assignment. We talked about making it sort of like your own private nightclub. We understand who the buyer is of this house and the idea of having a private party space like that. And so I have this great old Vegas showgirl costume in a box, and so that was one of the anchor pieces of art. But we wanted to make it seem like that is where a little party is held. You can find the details in every single surface, every wall, except for the one or two we leave blank to give some breathing room. It's everything from the coffee table to the console to the dressing table to the closets in the primary to the shelves in the study. Every moment in this house is an opportunity to create this magical little moment, and that's what I want people to see when they come in our properties.